I know my chance with her is blown, cause my mouth gets carried away. I'm tongue-tied, 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 I get tongue-tied.
Another person left a decent-sized comment. Says, women with abandonment and or trust issues will pull away when they really like you, when they're falling for you. This is a different test and not often even a conscious test. They're doing it because they're terrified of being hurt. It's rooted in childhood trauma. This is a brutal, tough test because you need to be able to identify it, even though it's tough to manage, because you need to balance not abandoning them with not letting them walk all over you. Got to remain logical and not take any of it personally. Usually it's abrupt and they tend to push hard. And what they're saying doesn't exactly make sense. You have to tell them calmly and clearly, it doesn't make sense. Well, more explain why it doesn't. Probably have to do it 2 or 3 times, but don't keep doing it because it's not actually about that. It's about her fear of abandonment, insecurities, and trust issues. So they'll abruptly suddenly push you away hard at a time it makes no sense for you because things are going well. Well, that's why she's doing it, because she's really feeling it, and that scares the heck out of her. Make sure they get help, though. They need to learn how to deal with their trauma in a healthy way, and they certainly can. So I'll say for the last part, it is not your job to make sure they get help. Ultimately, it's their journey, it's their job. If they start to recognize that they have this pattern of getting close to a guy and then running away, then if they do that enough times, they'll start to be like, I've dated like 5 great guys and I've dumped them all. Like, what's wrong with me? And they can go with their own stuff. Okay. But the rest of the stuff in terms of like, and it's the same thing with guys. When I talk about like, if you have abandonment issues, it's going to affect how you view the world. Well, women that have abandonment or trust issues, even if they're like saying, I want a happy relationship, at the point where they actually get it, subconsciously, they're always waiting for the other shoe to drop. And they're always thinking at any point in time, this guy's going to leave me. If we get into an argument, this guy's going to leave me. If things are going great, then it's going to hurt more if he leaves me. And so, yes, there are women that are in that have that, where they will like actually leave a good situation because their thought is, I don't want to get hurt longer down the road when this is super serious. So while it's not overly serious right now, let me jump ship now. And when this happens, guys, this is very important. If you're dating a woman and say things are going great, you're doing every single thing right. It's like the 3rd month, around the time that she should be asking you to be, if you can be the boyfriend. And then all of a sudden she starts to kind of like either go away or be around you less. It's very important. The worst thing you can do is either try to force her to see that you're a great guy or to try to convince her that what she's seeing is not real and yada, yada, yada. What I found is more effective. Let's say when comes to you, it's like, hey, so, I'm thinking like, maybe this isn't going to work out, or, I feel this and that. My response is like this. Hey, you know what? I'm sorry to hear that. Like, I'd like to hear like what your reasoning is for that. And I let her talk and speak and well, just gonna say this, blah, 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 blah. At that point, I'm like, hey, you know what? Like, ultimately, I think we'd be great together and maybe you need a few days to think it out. So I say, I'm not a guy that like at the point where I break up with somebody, I'm not trying to get back at them again. So like, if you need a couple of days to really think about it, that's totally fine. I respect it either way because I really think we have a great thing. And, I want to be there for you. I care about you immensely. I think we have a good thing going. But, if you thinking that this isn't going to be good for you, then it is what it is. But like really think about it for a couple of days. Don't make any rash decisions yet. And you know what? I'll leave you alone and I'll go do my own thing and then let me know. And that's it. And what you find is that sometimes a woman just hearing that your world's not going to end when she's gone, and that, but also at the same time that you want her around and that you really do respect her and admire her. Sometimes that will allow a woman to see like, I'm the one tripping. And then you give her those few days because you actually want to give her time to go to her girlfriends, go to her family and be like, I'm really fearful losing this guy, blah, 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 this and that. And let her friends and family around her, like, give her the commentary she needs to be like, girl, you tripping. Like, this dude's there for you. You can't stop gushing about him. Are you really going to like want to mess this up? And that sometimes could cause her to change her mind and want to like be in this thing. Now, at the same time, I'll say this. Realistically, guy, when you're into things, dating women that have abandonment and trust issues is really, really hard. And you need to decide if that's something you want to do it, because they're going to have occasional outbursts where it's like, they're going to blame you for some stuff that has nothing to do with you, or say, you're trying to be this way to me. That's based on some rooted childhood trauma that she went through. And it can pop up a lot, especially for women that haven't been through therapy or seen a psychologist. Then it becomes your issue and it really can affect the relationship. So if you think you're a guy that can deal with that, then I say more props to you. But I find more often than not, it's really not worth it.
Thanks for listening to the Introvert Dating Success Podcast. Visit us at introvertdatingsuccess.com for more great tips on attracting women using your natural introvert charm. Oh, yeah.